Hey Royals, this is Mademoiselle Mosley again today. I'm here to talk to you about this scripture. I believe it to be Matthew 9:17, King James Version. That you cannot put new wine in old skin. And what brought that to mind is that I was thinking about some past loves that I had, you know, and it just brought me to mind that I still love who I loved back then, but not the same. My love is no longer the same. It's not the same. The woman that I am today would bust the wineskins of these men wide open. And when I say that, it's because I know who I am and I knows whose I am. And I don't fault anyone for being themselves. It's just there's no place within myself for someone of the past. And I wish everybody well. I'm not upset. I'm not mad. They taught me a lot. They taught me who I was. It's like this. And I'm not saying they were enemies, but your enemy tells you who you are. It shows your fight. It shows your wisdom. It shows your understanding and your wisdom. And as you develop more and more each year, each day, each minute, each second, each hour, you'll realize that you're no longer that person. That's why sometimes we as people, we go back and forth to the same person. But sometimes we go back and forth to the same person because of the unknowing. We don't want to, cross over and go into the unknown because the unknown is not shown. That's why we keep going back to the known. And it ain't always good, but it's familiar. But we have to get past, that familiarization of life and move on and cross over that bridge. To get over, what we've been under. I was listening to this guy on a YouTube, and he was talking about the bridge experience, and to cross over and then to turn around and come back to where you were. You never know where you could be. So I cannot go back, even if my desire says so. All your desires are not to be acted upon. You have to move on and find your destination. You can't keep going back to the place you started. You have to keep moving forward so that you can know how far you can go if that is your desire. Some people never really realize their greatness because of the unknown. It can be very scary not knowing where you're going to go, where you're going to be, who you're going to be with, but you do know this person because you've been with them 20 years or 10 years or 5 years. Sometimes, let me tell you something that I found out, something that I know. Sometimes some of the people you've been with for 10 years, 15, 20 years, you were never supposed to be with them in the first place. So you got comfortable with the familiar that you wasn't supposed to get familiar with. So I hope this helped you guys. All you got to do is look in the Bible, Matthew 9, King James verse 17. You cannot put new wine in old skin. You cannot go back to some people. Because, see, if I went back to some people, they would probably still take off from where we left off. Some people have not gotten any wiser. They stopped growing. when you kept on growing, when you kept on going, they stopped at that right part of the relationship where you guys left off. And if you get back with them, they're probably going to start off where they left off. They're probably going to feel comfortable in that familiar space and, saying whatever they said to you, doing whatever they did to you, because it's a familiar place. But people don't realize even some familiar places you visit have changed. It's just your mind frame is the same. Them people that we done changed, we done moved on. You have stopped growing. When you stop growing, your life stops showing. You're just stagnant in one place. You don't have a greater mind or a bigger mind. You haven't grown any because, see, I've realized this. Just say per se you were with someone and you're grandparents and y'all relationship didn't work out. I mean, it happens sometimes. If they're not trying to connect with their grandchildren, but they're steady trying to connect with you, even though you don't want to be connected, or either those that they have not been connected with their own children, but they're not trying to get in contact with their grandchildren and participate, they ain't grown none. They're still the same selfish individual, and usually that's why they'll remain by themselves, because ain't nobody gonna tolerate the foolishness. But like I was saying earlier, you cannot put new wine in old wineskin, because it will bust wide open. Literally, the bag will bust wide open. So the woman that I am today, I cannot be with any men of my yesterdays. So I hope this helped you guys to move forward in your life, to understand that even though you may not know where you're going, there's something greater in front of you. There's something better. Now, if some of y'all can make amends and really learn and heal and get right, and if that's what y'all really want, I believe it can work, if you're willing to do the work. But to go back into something that shows no growth, to go back into something because where you left off, you feel like you didn't finish. Some relationships, when you go back where you left off because you didn't finish, like I said earlier, shouldn't have been started. So I hope that helped y'all. Stay blessed. Just remember, you cannot put new wine in old wineskin. I hope that helped y'all. Get it before it gets you. Talk to you later. Like, share, and subscribe. Bye now.